Hello, dear. It's Heather, and you are watching Save Today with Heather J. I am somebody who spent her entire adult life living paycheck to paycheck and being one life event away from financial crisis. I tell you that in the beginning of every video because that's the most important part. That is the reason I'm on this journey. The only way that changes and I stop being somebody who lives paycheck to paycheck, and I stop being somebody who one life event creates financial crisis. The only way that stops is to create a budget and stick to a budget and be incredibly aware of every single thing I spend every single month, every single week, every single day. I'm not there yet. I might not be there in a year, but I am trying very hard to get there. So you're going to hear me say probably every single time, I'm somebody who has spent her entire life living paycheck to paycheck. I don't know that that's ever going to change, but that is what I would like to happen. Today, my video is going to be my monthly budget setup for August of 2023. I'm a little bit behind schedule. I'm trying to get caught up. This should have gone out probably 2 weeks ago. So let's get into it and let's get started and let's see where we're going to go. When I set up my monthly budget, I take my wages, which are $20.85 an hour, and I times it by the minimum I expect to get at work, which is $38 or 38 hours. My job, I work in retail, and in retail, anything from 32 to 40 hours is considered full-time. At this point in time, I can pretty much count on 37 to 38 hours. There have been, and there may in the future be times where that moves down to 32 to 33 hours a week. I'm not there yet, thankfully. And so right now, 38 hours a week. And for the monthly budget, that's times 4 weeks in August. And then I do take out 25% for my taxes. My taxes is something I may change. I have not been paying as much attention to that as I should, because by now I should have figured that out. But I did receive a small raise, which changed my taxes. And I had to change my insurance because I'm living now in another side of the country, and my previous insurance provider is not accepted here. And that changed the amount that they were taking out for my taxes. So right now, what I'm estimating is 25%. That may need to change. Hasn't yet. So $20.85 times 38 hours times 4 weeks. Take away 25%. My estimate for the month is $2,376.90. I do give myself another line. I don't expect to ever have a consistent other amount of money. I don't work a second job. I do not receive child support. I do not have any kind of investments or annuities that I would receive any kind of regular quarterly payments on. But that other line is there in case something comes up that needs to be included. In case I decided I needed to get a second job mid-month, I would have a slot to fit that in. That's always a possibility. I hope I don't have to go out and get a second job, but that is definitely something I have done in the past and something I would not be completely opposed to if it came to that in the future. So my total expected income for the month of August is $2,376.90. The next thing I go over is my fixed expenses, my bills, things I have to pay, whether I like it or not. I call these fixed expenses, but they aren't fixed. They definitely change. Like my rent doesn't change. It's $850 a month. If and when my lease is over, that could change. If I decide to move, that would change. But that doesn't change from 1 month to the next. But also in here are things like my utilities, and those do change from month to month, but they're still in my fixed expenses because they are a bill I have to pay no matter what. I don't get to say that's too much kilowatts per hour. I don't get to ask them to turn it off after X amount of hours. I don't have any control over that. That's somebody else sets those fees, those rates, those due dates, and I'm required to abide by those. So for the month of August, I do have my rent for $853. Again, that's $850 for rent, a $3 service fee. I do have my utilities for $284.68. Now this is utilities that were due in July and August, or maybe June and July. This is this month's bill and last month's bill. I did not pay my utilities in the month of July because of what was going on with getting my U-Haul. So this is two bills, this utilities, one for $110.29, one for $130.89. Right now my utilities are billed to the landlord and I pay the landlord. And by doing that, I pay a $20 service fee for each of those. And then I go to the post office to get a money order for $1.75 each. So this $284.68 covers all of that. Those two bills I listed, the total of $40 for service fees and the total of $3.50 for what I pay to the post office to get those money orders printed. And then the next thing I have here is my phone. I did not pay my phone bill in July. In July, I paid June's phone bill because I had put the bill in the payment arrangement in June to be paid in July. I paid that in July, and then I put July's bill in payment arrangements to be paid in August. So this $473.02 is July and August's phone bills. My phone bill currently is $236.51. It has two phone lines, one tablet, and the internet in that for $236.51. There are some insurance fees that I will be taking away. I have not done that yet. There are, and I have not yet put that on auto pay. Once I put that back on auto pay, that should lose $5 a line for what I believe is going to be $20. When they say a line, I don't know if they include the internet as a line that gets a reduced fee or not. But for right now, the estimate for that is $473.02. Then I have a credit card payment for $200. I have a subscription for $10.82. I have some old rent for $70.94. This is an estimate. I call it old rent, but it's fees, cleaning fees, and filling nail holes and repairs and all of the things that they charge you for when you move out of a place. I received a bill for $709 for that. That has been sent to collections. I called the collector to make payment arrangements. I wanted to put that on a 12-month plan, which would have been right about $50 a month. The lady I spoke with was not able to do that for me. She set me up on a payment plan for $70.94, which I believe gets that paid off in 10 months. But she did let me know that there would be a $13 and change service fee unless I could pay for that with American Express, which obviously I don't have an American Express credit card. She informed me that I would be able to get, it's possible to get an American Express reloadable prepaid card, and I have not been able to do that yet. So I don't know if what she told me is something that really does work or not. But for right now, that $70.94 is what I've put the estimate down. If I can make that work, great. If not, I may have to tack that service fee on there. I didn't want to be paying what would be $84 a month. I needed that really to be $50 a month. But that might be what I'm stuck with and have to work with. So old rent, $70.94. And then I have a Banner Health bill for $50 that I really want to try and get paid this month. That's an old bill from November of 2021. That was insurance copay, and I would really like to get that taken care of. And then this AR Strat is a collection also for a medical device for $41.66. This is a huge stretch goal, this bill. I really want to get that paid. I don't know if I can make that happen. Because I'm having to play catch up with my utilities and play catch up with my phone, I am not 100% certain that I can make these bills, these other extras work, but I really, really want to get them out of there. So I'm going to try pretty hard to get that done. So my my fixed expenses total is $1,984.12 for the month of August. Then we go over my flexible spending. And for me, my flexible spending is groceries, dining out, transportation, art, and miscellaneous. These are the things that I have a little bit more control over. If things are too tight, I don't have to go out. I don't have to buy art supplies. I don't have to drive all over the county to go shopping or do those things. I have a little bit more control. So for my groceries, I have estimated $560, which I believe was $140 a week. I had been estimating $110 a week, and that was not being enough. So I bumped that up just a tiny bit. I once again have given myself estimate for $0 in dining out. Once again, I know $0 is completely unrealistic. I think that's unrealistic for anyone, but it's particularly unrealistic for me. I'm somebody who hates to cook. I'm somebody who goes out to eat a lot. That's just a normal part of my existence. And it is a real fight for me mentally to not go out to eat. But I don't have the funds to just arbitrarily put that in there right now. And I want to be very, very conscious and aware as I'm spending what I'm doing. So that's where I'm at with that. I would love to get to the point where I can spend $0 in dining out in an entire month. Heck, I'd love to get to where I could spend $0 in an entire paycheck at this point. But I need to be more aware of what I'm spending and be thinking more about just eating at home first. Transportation, I have estimated $160 for this month, which is $40 a week. When I set up my transportation estimate, I assume I'm going to need to fill the gas tank up once a month at $3.79 a gallon at 10 gallons. And then I do have a couple of trips to work on the bus. That's $1 each way. I get picked up after work from somebody else on those days where I have to do that. That will probably be happening for another 3 weeks to a month, I think. We did get the other car repaired, and now we need to get the insurance updated and get the registration done. That vehicle sat still for so long that all of those things lapsed and need to be dealt with now. So those will be dealt with as finances allow. So then I have a $0 budget for my art at this point and a $0 budget for my miscellaneous. I now have all of the supplies I own in my house and in my possession. So I definitely have more things at my fingertips to be able to have and use and not need to go to buy supplies. But things often come up. So we'll see how that goes. So my flexible spending estimate for this month is $720. My ending balance then is income $2,376.90, fixed expenses $1,984.12, and flexible spending at $720, which means I finish out the month at negative $327.22. I'm obviously not going to finish out negative. If I don't have extra income, then I will have to sacrifice some of these extras I'm wanting to try and get done here. So we'll see how that plays out. Also, I absolutely ran out of room and things got way too squished here. So maybe this extra stretch with this AR Strat is just not meant to happen based on that little bitty bit there. we'll see how that plays out. These last 3 are absolutely stretch goals. I absolutely want to get those taken care of, but not at the risk of having to continue to bump my utilities or continue to bump my phone. So we will see how that plays out over the next month. That is it for my budgeting portion of this video. For those of you who have been here for any length of time, you are aware that I go over the craft that I'm working on at the end of this video. Because I am behind schedule, I am filming some videos back to back. So I don't have any progress to show you today. We're just going to go over some more of the supplies I end up having to use to make the thing. For those of you who didn't watch, who aren't aware, I am taking some pockets of old jeans and attempting to turn these into pot holders. My idea, or hot pads. My idea is that this thumb portion here, or this coin pocket portion, would be where the thumb goes, and this back pocket portion would be where the fingers go, and these two will be stitched together some way here, and then I will have either other jeans or fabric on the other side to be the side of the pot holder that your hand goes in. And then on the other side, you would have either another piece of jeans material or another piece of cotton. You do have to be careful when you're using something like jeans to make a hot pad, that what you're using doesn't have any polyester in it or any elastane, because those things can burn or melt, and you wouldn't want to do something that's going to melt in something that you're using near heat. So that is why I wanted those, number one, to be on the side where your hand would be. That's less likely to be the side touching the pot or the pan. And when you set that down to put a pot or a pan on top of it, it's less likely that that would be the side that that would go on, because you would have your hand in it, take it out, put the pot on there. But I also am being very careful to pay attention to which type of jean material I'm using for that. The fabric that's going to line that could be something like this pink I have in the background here. But that's not all you need to have. You do need to have a couple of things that are very specific to making pot holders. One of them is this Insulbright. Insulbright has some metal woven into there that I hope that shows up well on the camera, that kind of metallic color. That metallic is going to be the side that faces the heat, and that reflects the heat away from your hand. So ultimately, you can do this where this faces the outside and one that faces the other side. So you have the Insulbright facing 2 different directions like it is here, 2 layers. And in between these 2 layers, you would have a piece of regular cotton. So this will be a very thick, just like pot holders you buy from the grocery store are. And you will have to sew around all of that. So those are the material that I will be using inside that. Pot holders in any shape or form, it's been something that's been long on the list of things I want to get to and want to try. And this will actually be my first time actually following through with that. I have tons and tons and tons of Insulbright. I also have a whole bunch of batting to make this work with. And as I have explained a couple of times, I definitely have a lot of old jeans to try this project with. And I have buckets. I have literally boxes, drawers, and shelves full of fabric that I can make this with. And so as I am considering my future of potentially having an online business, this is one aspect I want to explore for that online business, is some of these crafts and really some of the patterns, more so than actually putting the product itself together. So that is what is on the agenda for this month, is to make some pot holders, as many as I can with what little bit of time I have left in this month. Thank you for being here with me today, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, please have some fun. Bye-bye now.